So, and guess what? She was a woman of wisdom last year. So, just remember that she'll be coming home. And also, someone who's going to Washington is Representative Jasmine Crockett. And let's hear it for her. It was really interesting being in the room with Congresswoman Johnson because people, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi came right over from announcing that she would not be in a leadership position again. She came over to show her love to the Congresswoman. And that's really important. If COVID didn't show us anything, it showed us we need to show more love today. And because some people you look up and you'll never see them again. You'll never, and some of us, you don't even know they're gone, and you find out much later. So that's why it's important to have a black press, and that's why it's important to have Eli News. Now, those of you, they wanted me to do a bunch of things up here because they want to start at 12 o'clock because they know how we feel about CP time. And so they told me to get up here and say something profound, sing, tell some jokes, and do some things and wait for. And I want to try to do all of that, but that jet better have some good food on it going to Orlando. But I love HBCUs. And for those of you who have come to events before, and I say Eli News, and Daryl Blair is going to get up here and say, what? Eli. That's because he's hard-headed. I told him some bad children. And I just tell you, when I'm out there and folks say, well, they call it Eli, Eli, and, I say, yeah, but a lot of people have bad children. There are bad children in the world and they belong to somebody. But Dr. Blair told me Eli, and that's what I call it. So, in paying homage to him and to Eli News for saying we are going to recognize women. Because as a woman, I can tell you it's hard. It is really hard. Women, will you agree with me? Everybody thinks they can do any and everything to us and get away with it. Everybody thinks, and especially the black woman. So I salute Eli News for saying we're going to recognize women, we're going to show them love, and we're going to encourage you and all the men who are in here today. Y'all do something extra special for the woman that's with you. Look at those smiles on her face. I see you are going to do any and everything you can to make her feel special every day. And so now I guess I'm supposed to sing now, and I'm going to hold that to the end. My sorority had a karaoke night, and they are the only people who ever hear me sing because when I was a little 20-year-old and 19-year-old at Florida A&M University, my big sisters told the soprano stand over there, the altos over there, the bass is over there, and they told me to stand over there and lip sync. So I participated in karaoke night because they know I can't sing. And some of you, there's some people out there who kind of have a high opinion of me, and I don't want to lose that. So no singing tonight. And I actually chose a song that, and Pastor, I chose Let's Stay Together by Al Green, because I knew what would happen with all of you. You would join in and sing with me. But I'm not going to try that today, okay? I'm just going to, I have a few jokes, one from Dick Gregory, and one from Bernie Mac. You want to hear that, please? I actually told that one in my class. I teach at Dallas College, and I told the joke so that they would understand that I was one of those educators who doesn't play with my students, and I also wanted them to know I wasn't afraid of them. So if you can just imagine Bernie Mac up here and what he would have said, see, somebody is what I said to them. And I just started out with I, and I think it ended with the F. Yeah. And I said, so, Pastor, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, the pastor left, so the joke, somebody got the joke, so I just let them know. But I can just tell you, are there any educators here? I know there are some, my son. So, yeah, let's hear from the educators. And show some love to them, because it's been really hard for them too. They've been challenged. And especially during COVID and coming out of it, what we have to deal with. And hopefully we're ready for the next pandemic. You know, I had someone I was interviewing for a job and they said, I said, do you have any questions? They said, yeah, can you tell me what it was like for you during the last pandemic? You know, so I'm just, no, I didn't hire them. I said, listen, I may look a little older than I am, but the last pandemic was over 100 years ago. And so, no, so I didn't hire him. I think he needed a little bit more of a history lesson, but I hope there won't be another pandemic. But I hope that we are better prepared next time. The one thing I could say is that when people talk about the pandemic initially, they talked about it almost the way they talked about HIV/AIDS 40 years ago, and they said it was certain communities. And so guess what? We didn't get our stuff together that 40 years ago with HIV/AIDS, and then it started hitting us, and it's hitting us today still. Well, the same thing was happening with the pandemic, and we lost so many of ours. And then monkeypox started occurring, and they again diverted our attention. And I just say to all of us, anytime you hear about something going on, you better embrace it yourself and see how you can arm yourself and protect your communities against it as well. And so I think, am I ready, Daryl? Because if I start to sing, just tell me you will join in with me if I start, right? But y'all want to hear this drama. No. No, because I'll never be invited again. Are we ready? I can go? He loves bossing me around. How many of you know Daryl Blair? Yeah, so I don't even have to say anything more. But it is a pleasure to be here with you. And yes, as publisher of my own newspapers, guess what? We're all in this together. We're all in this together, and I support the Eli News. And so when they asked me to come and share my love and be here with you, I always want to be there. We have to support one another. And then they have a special meal for me. They have the jet waiting for me to go to Florida. So I'm all good. And are there any AKs in here? No, I didn't have to. It's just yes. I said yes. Okay, but I'll do. But go on, get it out. Go on, get it out. Because there were a number of you there with Congresswoman Johnson also. So I said, are there any AKs here? Go ahead. Let me hear it. And you can go ahead and do it again. Make that noise that the reporter wrote about because they don't know our community. Okay, yeah. Well, I just want to give a shout out, and I had to text it because Omicron Rio Omega is having their Youth Awards today, and I love being there also. And I want to say a big shout out to, you know, Randy Bowman and Jill, who was there doing wonderful things on the education front. And so I showed them some love. And I'll make say something about, I think Adele was here too. Because they just don't play Atomic Dog because my man will come from wherever he is. Sorry, Stephanie, but are there any ladies here? No? I'm just going to do the ladies here because these women are wisdom. Are there any members celebrating their centennial Sigma Gamma Rho sorority? Congratulations, 100 years. You don't look your age. And then any members of Zeta Phi Beta sorority. Okay. But just let me tell you something. I was in Japan, and guess what? They didn't care what color I was wearing. Everybody showed me some love. And that's what it's all about. And that's why I'm here today. So we're going to get this party started. And look at Sherry. Sherry loves a good fight. Sherry, So you can just watch Tusi right up here because we're gonna have the welcome from the First Lady of the Eli News, Sherry Christian Blair. And look at the, I wonder if you get to paint these portraits on. I'm so excited for the Women of Wisdom today because sometimes we don't get recognized. We don't get love. You know, folks don't realize what we do and what we go through, and we're supposed to just wear a smile. And then folks have the unmitigated gall to say, one of the worst things you walk up to a woman and say is, smile. You know, you don't know what we're going through at that time when you tell us to smile. And sometimes just say, don't you look gorgeous today? And guess what? We have to be able to receive it instead of saying, what's Sherry doing? That we have to be able to receive it instead of saying, oh, this old thing. And see, I'm not gonna say that. I picked this out specifically for you all. But then guess what I also did? I brought another outfit because if somebody had it on, I was gonna change real quickly into something else. But here is our First Lady of the Eli News, Sherry Christian Blair.
Hello. Okay. So I am going to welcome you guys for being raising the feminine spirit, transforming our world. We live in a world where the feminine spirit is honored and women's contribution to society is valued and necessary for the evolutionary humanity. WOW gives voices to the feminine wisdom within all, transforming personal and collective consciousness through circle leadership and community. We strive to accomplish this as we embrace these aspects and model these actions to the world. With that being said, good afternoon to everyone present on today. On behalf of Elite News, the Blair Foundation, we welcome you to the 9th Annual Women of Wisdom Gala. We at Elite News are very excited to be able to acknowledge with honor each of these recipients of the Women of Wisdom Award. This year, we get to present our second Blair Foundation Wonder Woman Achievement Award. Today marks the 9th year of bestowing this award upon some very deserving women. Elite News is both happy and excited to showcase each and every one of them. Today's Women of Wisdom are being recognized for their faith, wisdom, strength, leadership, kindness, direction, stewardship, and love. These 9 women are also being highlighted for their commitment to the many important areas of time, such as families and friends, their places of employment and worship, and to your community members and constituents. Thank you for your commitment to God's greatness planted within the heart, mind, and spirit of each of you. We honor and appreciate you being present on today. The citizens and community at large are truly grateful for you being a beacon of light that all women carry inside of them. Therefore, please be and feel our heartfelt welcome on today.
I'm not gonna tell y'all that before she got married, she called her Eli. But I guess Daryl works some magic over her, and so now she has gone over to the dark side. Now, we, again, you see the program, my name is Daryl Owens, I'm the publisher of iMessenger, Texas Metro News and Garland Journal, and guess what, anytime Eli News, or I can run the gamut and say this is the 195th year of the Black press, and we tell the stories that others don't tell. And I just ask you to continue supporting all of us so we can continue to grow and be the historians that we are trying to be. Now we're going to acknowledge all the dignitaries, and I think that they have a list, but I think if all of you just take out the mirror and look in it, you'll see. You'll see all the dignitaries, and because you'll see it in yourself. And we appreciate you for being here. Do you have a list, or you want me to go?
First of all, see that table right there? It shouldn't be a friend facing that table. That's the first thing. Because you're all the individuals sitting right there.
Now that we're afraid, and I don't want to put you in the same category with someone in Georgia, but when Daryl starts talking, don't you just say, what is he gonna say? Okay. Okay, so we're ready.
All right. So we know the dignity, right? We're gonna make this calm because it seems like a whole bunch of people here are very, very pensive. And I don't like pensive, I like loose. So give me some Saturday because this is the women of wisdom. Wow. Don't take that long. Don't take that long. They take that long and somebody else. I see Reverend Bird. I knew he was in for something. Can you stand up? If you're an elected official, now that you're a selected official, you sit down. Elected official. Yeah, you lost her. Now, Tisha Hughes. And so now. Tell me your name.
Oh, Andre Bird, North Carolina, so.
Absolutely.
Okay, forget what I said and forget what I said about what I said in my class at Dallas High.
Let's work back the room, please. We're gonna be as confident as you can. We're gonna get through this. Thank you.
I'm Julia Fleming, president of the DeSoto ISD Board of Trustees.
Dr. Tiffany Clark, DeSoto ISD Board of Trustees. Tracy McNary, DeSoto ISD Board of Trustees. Cynthia Watson, Board of Trustees, DeSoto ISD.
Now, we also have Constable Tracy Gully. And we also have Judge Nancy Lowe, not to mention having Mayor Rachel Washington. Okay, now I'm going to identify a few people who are very key to this event as we put it on. I'm going to ask, first and foremost, Dr. Michelle Bobadilla, just stand. University of Texas. These are dignitaries to me. Pat Webb of Dallas College, please stand. Has one of the reasons as well as Dr. Bobadilla. They're giving back to a program that is given to them. I'd be remiss if I stood here and I didn't have this gentleman stand up because I worried gray hairs onto his head. He's a good friend and he's a yapper. It's my stage today, and you gotta take it. I'm not in your office. You don't get over talk me, cut me off, shout, stop me, none of that. Kirk Myers of Family Prosperity. Ms. Keisha Langston, stand up. Dr. Keisha Langston, you. And before, if I miss anyone, please charge it to my head and not my heart, but I would not go anywhere before I recognize one of the women that we stand here on their shoulders. Those are the women. I'm going to identify Sister Alma Pryor, founding first lady. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Thank you. y'all smile. Keep smiling. I want this table smiling. I don't care what's going around you, smile. All right? Dr. Sharon Patterson, last year's Woman of Wisdom Award recipient. This is how fast she is. She's too scared to come last year, so she came this year to celebrate y'all. Ain't that kind? That's awesome, man. We got a beautiful picture of her just like that up at all. Dr. Sharon Patterson, would you come on and bless the food?
And then this fine woman makes her way to the microphone. I just want to say to those who serve, thank you for serving. Everyone thinks they know what you do. They don't have a clue. They don't know the calls that you get asking about things you have no control over whatsoever. But you still try to help them. And then you have people who will give $5 and they're gonna get their $5 worth and everybody else out of you. And then you have the other ones who will give $1,000 and they will just say, go with God. And I just say that one thing, somebody told me there were a lot of Democrats in this room. Y'all gotta start coming up with some more money. And y'all gotta come up with some strategies, and you have to take power. And then you also have to hold other folks accountable. When President Barack Obama won election, I didn't go to the Democrats and ask for tickets. I went to the Republicans because they weren't going to use them anyway. And they had a short line, but all the Democrats had a long line to get tickets. And so we have to hold everybody accountable. But for you women who deal with what you have to deal with, and you men too, we're talking about women of wisdom today, but thank you for being elected officials. Thank you for serving. Thanks for your continued service. And thanks for serving with grace, because we have to do things that our male counterparts don't have to do. And that is clearly, I'm going to give you just one example. When I saw Grambling Prairie View, when they came to play their games here, their college presidents were men. And they were walking around, they had sneakers on, and they were just chilling, having a good time. What happened when Texas Southern and Southern came? And our president from Texas Southern is a woman. She had to serve and do all of that in heels with grace. We don't get to relax like men do. So let's hear it for all the women elected officials. Let's give our MC Cheryl Smith some more love, y'all. All right. Brother Blair is correct. I was not able to make it last year, but I do want to thank this organization for naming me a Woman of Wisdom last year, and the joy is still carrying over, so I appreciate that. My task now is to give the invocation, and I want to say I bring you greetings from my congregation, the Hamilton Park United Methodist Church. Amen. Let's bow for a word of prayer. Holy and gracious God, we thank you right now for who you are and how you are. For God, you are truly moving in our lives. You brought us to this place. You're enabling us to celebrate women of wisdom. And now, God, you have a sumptuous banquet before us. We pray for the hands that planted it, picked it, and prepared it. Let this food give us strength, Lord, to keep on keeping on. For God, we know that the road is rough and the going is tough and the hills are hard to climb. But we started out a long time ago, and there is no doubt in our mind we decided to make Jesus our choice. And that all who agree say with great joy, amen. Put your hands together again, God, for praise, for his word, of the honor, the glory, and the praise. Oh, yeah. Sister Siobhan, I just have to tell you, if there is, even in talking in my class in Dallas College, and I'm going to try to redeem myself for those educators who were there, but I told the students they had to bring me 3 sources for their project, and I told them, bring somebody who looks like you. Because sometimes if we don't bring us into the room, we don't get into the room. And so I had a reporter, a longtime reporter, did a story, and she brought it to me, and I read it, and I said, something's missing. And she said, what? And I said, she talked to 4 pastors. I said, go over there and look in the mirror. And she said, well, what am I missing? What am I missing? And I said, all of your pastors are men. You gotta bring yourself into the equation. You have to bring who you are into the equation and let people recognize you, because sometimes we won't get in the room if we don't bring ourselves in. And so now we're gonna bring ourselves into the room to eat. But first, are we going to eat first, or are we going to hear from two wonderful women, Bobby and Pat?
Bobby and Pat.
Y'all want to hear from Bobby and Pat?
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
get that out.
Come on up here, Miss Southern University. Y'all traveled to Tallahassee and we showed y'all a few things or two. And yes, it was wonderful. I want to come around here. There you go. And come on, Pat, Webb. Come on, do we want, okay, come on, your way. She said she wants to wait, and you know, I said, I'm like,
Okay, all right.
hello, everyone. This is an exciting time, and I am going to pronounce it as Elite News, because Mr. Bill Blair pronounced it like that. And he is a trailblazer. He's in heaven. He made the pathway for this and for us to recognize women. I was thinking about a woman, aggressive, persistent, strong, bold, resilient, beautiful in your own skin, determined. We can say that leader of the family, the matriarch, sometimes trying to fit in the shoes as a father. She's creative. She's you, a woman of wisdom. Each of you are women of wisdom, but today we are recognizing certain women. But every woman in this room has a story to tell. She has an imprint. From the day she started breathing as a small child, she made a difference. You can see her personality start developing. And today I am so glad that Darren Blair, his wife, the Blair family, is keeping on the tradition, starting at noon, like Mr. Blair did. Remembering God, using preachers, spirituality, because these women of wisdom also put God first in their lives. Because none of us could be here today. I couldn't be here to speak to you. I was a woman of wisdom. And each of you have a story to tell. Each of you have a story that you will continue to tell, even when you leave this building today. It gave me great pride to see all of the women that stood up, that's with the school district, that are doctors, that are with colleges, that are involved in education, health care, things that we need so vitally today. We have 3 to 5 minutes, that's what I have. I'm gonna stay within that, because whenever you're on a program, you should follow their directives, no matter what you have to say. And so I just want to say I am a lawyer, but I am a community activist. I am an aunt. And when the pandemic struck, all of you changed your lives to make sure your family survived that pandemic. You did what it took. And so I can tell you, I have no small children, but when the pandemic struck, I had to step in. And I went from 0 children in the household to 4. That's how we as women, we will make a way. We will use that prayer, and we will never give up. And I want to just say, the Blair family, thank you. Cheryl, you all don't know, this woman, Cheryl, was inducted into the Hall of Fame for the National then before I close, she took it upon herself for her people to recognize women. Not just women that are elected in positions, but women that are doing everyday powerful things. And so I say to you today, all of you that are here that are being recognized today, congratulations. And I am Bobby Edmonds from Fort Worth, Texas. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm standing here today to talk about myself as an alumnus or alumni of the Women of Wisdom. But I'm also going to talk about a bit of history. And on my lapel today, I have a pin of Chief Justice Ginsburg. And I chose to wear that today because we're talking about women of wisdom and women of strength, women of power, women that are fabulous, women that are outstanding, women who stand tall, and women who lead. I was part of, I think it may have been close to the inaugural class in 2018. But with that, I continue to nominate other women because other women also lead and lead in strength. And when I talk about history, I cannot help but talk about Mr. Bill Blair, the founder whose shoulders we stand on of the Elite, that's the way he said it, Elite News. I have a strong history with the family. I have a very strong history with Mr. Blair because when I started with him, I was a manager at AT&T. And we really I have to give homage to Terry Hodge, she's not here today. But I worked for Terry Hodge at that time, and Terry Hodge introduced me to Mr. Blair, who was at that time struggling with the newspaper, and he had been since maybe 1960-ish when he started the paper. But if you know Mr. Blair, nothing defeats him. But Southwestern Bell at the time stepped in from grassroots and helped him with that parade, and it was just awesome once his children started coming in, Deborah, Jordan, Daryl, everybody just started coming in, and it just formulated into something huge, and we remained with him, and I remain with him today in my heart. Because Mr. Blair invited me not only to be part of the community with him, part of what we did with Southwestern Bell, AT&T, but into his family. And when I came in today, I saw Deborah and I saw Robert, and Deborah just hugged me and gave me that history. So with that history, I am a woman of wisdom, but I also stand on the strong shoulders of him and all of the ideas, all of the events that he had. And we are here today because of one William Blair. Let's give him a round of applause. And so we continue that today because I am no longer in Dallas College at AT&T. I took an early retirement, and now for 12 years I have been at Dallas College. So we continue that. You see an ad, you see a nominee from Dallas College, and you see two of our strong board of trustees here who also introduced themselves. So we continue, and I continue to stand on the shoulders of one Bill Blair, Negro League baseball player, and excellent idea person. So I thank the family of Bill Blair for continuing his legacy. I thank you. I will not cry, but I think she just told me I was fired. I have to talk to the other board of trustees, but you didn't mention if you had a staffer here also for Dallas College. Have I been fired? I'm fired? She has taught speech communications at Dallas College for the last 8 years, and she credits me for that. They keep you young in the classroom, don't they? Don't they? They keep you young or on meds, one of the two. But, we found someone to do what I cannot do, and so just taking us into a meal we're going to have a selection from Kelson Cumby.
Let me go a little bit deeper about this young lady. She used to come by the house with my son Byron, and she'd be afraid to speak. So often I hear about her being able to sing and her gift. And so I catch her call and say, come look for me. She goes, oh, so Shannon, I said, Shannon, can I do anything? I said, you ought to have a personality where when somebody asks you to give it to them, you lay it out there on. She wouldn't do it, so she thought that I didn't like her, and I thought she didn't like me, so we didn't like each other. But she's a gifted young lady, and I'm awfully proud of her talent, her gift, and the arrival of her personality, because she is just as strong as she can be. So, no further, please bear with this young lady and this young man, my son and my granddaughter, as they pour out water and tea.
It's their first time.
It's their first time. And one other thing, before I wrap it up, come on up here, baby, let you get your phone and stage. Pierre LeVay, raise your hand in the back of the room. He's the lone white guy back there against the wall. He's my friend, and all of these pictures and any one of these women of wisdom, he's done the renderings on. This is his work, his frantic and glory. Pierre LeVay. Thank you, Pierre. Fellas, sign for him, young lady. All right, we ready.
Hello. As I already said, I'm Kelson. It's not that I'm afraid to sing or anything. I just don't. Like, really, I don't get nervous or anything like that. It's just, I don't know how I'm gonna just start singing for people, but I'm gonna do it today.
Hold on.
Don't let the hurdle fall. So be the girl you love. Be the girl you love. I'll wait. So show me why you're strong. Ignore everybody else. We're alone now. I'll wait. So show me why you're strong. Ignore everybody else. We're alone now. Suddenly I'm here in this darkness of the dawn, and your friends are gone, and your friends won't come. So show me where you're headed. So show me where you fell. So show me why you're strong. You know everybody else. You're alone now, we're 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 alone now. Suddenly I'm here to stop this summer door. And your friends are gone, and your friends won't come. So show me where you fit. So show me where you fit.
Can I flip? Can I flip? I had with that one. No, she was out there. The 11th grader at Cedarville High School.
Well, we need to talk to her because guess what? We have a place for her in the Florida A&M University choir.
She's going to go to the Charles Kipling Players at Virginia University. You know my back. I'm not throwing you.
We're gonna do one of the real A&M.
Let me make a correction. Kurt Myers' name is Kurt Myers.
Yes,
He'll meet
congratulations.
me up in the hallway. Yeah, so now that we've done that, guys, I'm so grateful that you're here. This is a bit impromptu. I'm gratified that we finally got this one off and running. I'm certainly gratified to raise to honor these women for their many accomplishments, and yet we don't want you to rest on your laurels. But in the meantime, and in between time, sure, you know what I mean? And we humble. And then we're gonna get the plates in front of us, and then we got an outstanding, magnanimous, audacious, speaker who's gonna come, not only informative, but entertaining. Not only informative and entertaining, but empowering.
Yes.
Not only informative, entertaining, empowering, but engaging. Why? Because she's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. So, there she is. I can admire her beauty.
And you sure can.
Can I share it? Absolutely. So, with that being said, food has been blessed. Are we ready for them to proceed out? Marilyn D. Johnson, T. Johnson. What? Oh, I'm here to it. Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah, we got another game we're going to invite you to in a much grander place than this. With whole lights out.
Well, I love it here. I really do. I think we.
This is the first time. This is the first time. But I'm grateful because the proximity and the location, and they have been very kind and very assistant here in the city of DeSoto. I didn't even have to throw the mayor's name around. They got some.
You did all that for the jet.
Yeah, and this is a good, yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, sure, I'm gonna let you have it. Are we ready to eat? We're ready?
And this is a really smooth process because we're just going to go through, we're going to let our honorees, you're going to be served.
Right, they're not.
And so, well, and then those who need help, I'll come and help you myself. So if you need help.
I will too, Sharon.
Yes, and
You want
Bonnie
to set the
says,
table?
Oh, I always hate that because my table always ends up being last, but like every other table, but we are going to enjoy the food and we're going to enjoy one another. And again, I can't say enough about enjoying one another because there are so many who are not with us, who would have been here. And if you just think about all the people we have lost just since 2020, it's been rough. It's been really rough. So let's get ready to eat, have some good food, and get ready for the auspicious, whatever that word is. I'm gonna find it. I don't turn any word down because I used to only let two people say conversate, and that was Uncle Charlie and Tupac. But now it's a word, so auspicious may be a word. Superintendent, is that kind of word? Okay, we'll see. But let's get ready to eat. Sharon, are you directing tables? Two at a time. Okay, we're going to go two at a time. So if we could get some of that music that I requested, a little James Brown. Daryl, that music. So with the two tables, get up. Okay, you're up in the room. Music maestro. Thank you. Our honorees, the food will be brought to you. Is there anyone that is a pescatarian? You pescatarian? Vegetarian? Well, we have room, and guess what? You can have one with that jet ride on the floor.
Thank y'all for tuning in to On Assignment TV. We're live at the Wild. We'll be right back with you after they finish.